Hello and welcome. This is Idrl SAH Season 4 Eastern Conference semifinals. We are excited to have you here as spectators, and our pilots are ready. The pilots competing today are Shady, Vatsan, Kushan, Wizard, and Rhythm was supposed to be there, but Rhythm is off the circuit. And so there'll be four pilots competing for the race. We have a fantastic track on hand, a variety of lit gates out here, lots of dive gates, tunnels, and a very, very turny, twisty track that the pilots have to practice. So, going ahead, we can get going with our first round, but a quick explainer on the rules once again for those spectators who want a quick wrap up of the rules. Rounds 1 to 7 are going to be performed back to back without intermission. And before round 7, of course, we'll have a 2-minute break. And each of the rounds, the points are going to be scored in the order of starting with 7 points, going to 6 and 5, and then 4, and then 3. So, and then the points scored in every round is going to be multiplied by the number of that particular round. So, for example, if Kushank came in first in round number 4, then he would get 7 points multiplied by that round's number. That's 7 times 4, 28. And we'll be summing up all the points that he scored before that, and then the subsequent rounds. In real time, you would be updated with the grand total for each pilot at the bottom center of your screen. Thank you, One Martian Way, for the sponsorship. And after this, there will be the Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals leading up to the golden tickets, in which two pilots will be given golden tickets. We are still keeping it secret, and we'll be announcing that just before one of the finals ends. And after that, the main SH finals will be of 8 pilots. So that's what we have on the agenda today. Again, welcome spectators across our YouTube channel. This is the SAH playoffs. And pilots, let's get going for round number 1. Please be on the podium. All of you, please stay connected. One final rule, only 1 minute of rejoin time will be given to you in rounds 1 and 2. And then after that, there'll be no time spent. You will have to wait until the next round. So if you have any trouble or get disconnected, just drop in a message on the Discord channel and just wait it out until the next round. All right, so let's get going, pilots. We are ready to go as you are at the count of less than 5. Let's focus ourselves on the entirety of this track, and the pilots who are leading it straight up. Vatsan is off the board. Shady seems to have some issues getting off the track right now, but he's finally off the circuit and he's finally getting in his good shape. Meanwhile, Vatsan has capitalized on this first position. Kushang is holding up tight. Will have to be really aware of Shady, who is coming in fast from the third place out here. So competition between Kushang and Shady getting really tough out here. Just a gate of a difference, and Shady again now takes his spot number 2, coming quickly towards Vatsan. Both of them now in the final in lap number 2. This is kind of a lot of gates that the pilots have to cover out here. Now, this is a big 6-gate structure out here. And again, a couple of dive gates out there. We can see Shady right now. We are tuned into just taking over Vatsan. Brilliant move out there from Shady, but just had a little bit of an issue out there. Vatsan again re-cementing himself in spot number 1. So a very, very interesting game out here between Vatsan and Shady. Look at that. Brilliant views coming in from all sides. that we can capture on this track. This is truly a phenomenal circuit out here. And also there is a huge recharge gate, the diamond one that you can see near Vatsan right now. And Shady right now in the leader position. And he's having some early little bit issues out there, but soon his nose will definitely calm down. He's a brilliant pilot and seems to be definitely in control at this point in time. Lap number 3 is over. Shady completes his spot number 1. Watson will be getting in spot number 2, and Kushang and Wizard will be the pilots that will be taking either spots 3 or 4. Kushang looks in a favorable position at this point in time. He just has probably got about less than 20 odd gates to go. These are quick gates, very narrowly spaced to each other, so you can see the gates go quickly by. About 70 odd gates here that the pilots have to cover. And we can go through the final stage of this lap with Kushang as he comes back into some of the last gates out here. So let's start scoring in the meantime. As soon as Kushang is done, we'll be having a result out here. And so Shady is 7, Vatsan is 6. Then we have Kushang with 5 points out there, and then Wizard finally with 4 points. So that is the story of the circuit. Let me just reconfirm out here our point system. Yeah, we have kept it 7 points only starting with. So we are in good shape right now. So round number 2 pilots, without any further delay, in front of you at the count of less than 5. Now I'll be tuning straight through the eyes of Kushang and seeing the rest of the pilots. Watson has taken off. Wizard has taken off as well. Looks like we might have missed Shady, but Shady looks to be taking off at the very end, and something on his mind and strategy out here that Shady is going after. Does not want to burn too much of a fuel at the very start, and he definitely comes back. Look at that. He's climbing towards spot number 3. Hot on the tail of Watson, who is the leader. You can see Watson we are capturing at the moment. Beautiful track again. There are gates both hidden underneath the rocks and above it. And again, this wonderful and huge 6-gate structure out here, resulting straight into the green tunnel out there. Vatsan again, now Vatsan is behind Shady at this point in time, and Vatsan now committing a few mistakes as Shady takes complete advantage of the situation. He's going through that split gate right now. Shady coming down through the rocks, showing us the complete ness of this track, how the track is to be done, and he seems to be supremely confident at this point in time. Also, that structure is a 3-gate structure, and also a gate on the right bottom out there, coming once again into the tunnel. These pilots probably not making too much use of the recharge gate at this point in time, especially Vatsan and Shady will have to keep a watch on the other pilots. Vatsan seems to be quite behind Shady at this point in time. There you go, Vatsan's point of view. And again, a fine pilot will just have to master the track a little bit more so that he commits a little bit few errors as compared to Shady. Shady nicely sitting up there, warming up for the next round. He's completed this round, round number 2, as the leader. And Vatsan into position number 2. Kushang, on the other hand, let's see where he is with respect to the third FPV position. Can cover it from a variety of angles once again, and he's taking us through the circuit right now with Wizard in the 4th position. Wizard also had a little bit of a frame drop issue, I guess. He's having some issues with his system, but nevertheless he's competing with full speed out here, and definitely he's shortening that gap between himself and Kushang. That's really great to see on part of Wizard, who will be completing the 3 laps very soon. So the similar result right now, 7,654. This hasn't changed since the first round. And there you go, pilots. Round number 3. Let's go now at the count of less than 5. And let's straight away tune into the eyes of Wizard, who is at the 4th position. You can see the other pilots out there. Right now, he seems to be chasing Kushang. But look at that. There is a bit of a change in order out there. At least momentarily there was. Kushang was in the 2nd position, and there is a little bit of a tough competition going on. Kushang is really speeding up at this point in time. Watson is trying to stay focused. He's kind of sandwiched here between the speed of Shady here and Kushang, putting some bit of pressure on Watson from behind. There's you can see there not much of a difference between Watson and Kushang at this point in time. And look at that, Wizard has come back from nowhere at this point in time. He's really running hot on Kushang's tail. Kushang falling back to position number 4. Wizard is absolutely making a full advantage of the situation right now. Both of them at the same gates. You can see there virtually no difference between Wizard and Kushang. Wizard having a little bit of an edge, and Kushang again driving his position at position number 3. Meanwhile, let's see how is it going with Watson. With his FPV view, you can see the podium gates that he's doing at this point in time. And again, some bit of hesitation out there with a gap in making that gate really as to what he would have liked otherwise. Watson right now coming back, Shady at the getting his act together, and once again putting up a fine show for our spectators at position number 1. So brilliantly done out there. Spectators who are just joining us, we are in round number 3 at this point in time. 2 rounds already done, and our leader so far is Shady with a fantastic score of 21 points at this point in time. It will only get better and better with Shady and Watson. Watson cementing his position at position number 2. Very again interesting competition between Kushang Solanki and Wizard. Wizard is a determined pilot, and both of these pilots have in fact advanced from beginner and intermediate levels to now they are pro pilots. So it's really commendable of the job that they have done. Look at that, Wizard has taken out his lead over Kushang. Kushang trying to come back, Wizard hitting one of those podium gates. Look at that, Kushang really came back over, but Wizard still maintaining his spot. You can see Kushang really coming in the view of Wizard out there. Right now we are tuning, and Wizard again taking the spot number 3. Whose finish is going to be? This is going to be really interesting right to the tail end, and Kushang it is just by a few milliseconds, I believe. Oh my god, that was the closest that we have had in the SAH series so far. Just over 300 milliseconds. Wizard is lost out to Kushang out there. So the position system here remains the same, but Wizard definitely showing his signs of getting back into the circuit. Okay, so rounds 3 are done, and right now Shady with 42 points. You can see there, bottom center of your screen, the total for each pilot. Watson 36, Kushang 30, Wizard 24. Absolutely, these are early points. Round number 7 is going to be a huge multiplier of 10, so anything can happen. Let's get going, pilots, with round number 4 coming up in front of you in less than 5. And this time, let's see whose viewpoint we can master over here. Shady is taking us through the circuit as usual in his first position. And Wizard and Kushang again battling out really tremendously well, closely for position number 3. And here Watson also trying to get back into the game. He doesn't really want to stick around in position number 2 anymore. and he will be looking to amplify his position at from position number 2, taking over Shady. Let's see if we can spot Shady through the FPV view of Watson. He is also getting into lap number 2, but he is well behind Shady at this point in time. And you can see the difference between the gates of Watson and Shady, a huge difference out there, virtually 40 plus gates that Watson will have to cover if he has to give a tough competition to Shady. But Shady just keeps on accelerating at a phenomenal pace out here. Look at that. The brilliance at which he's doing these tracks is worth commendable. Just a few errors here and there, although not a sign of Shady. Even the best of pilots do commit a few mistakes. That's a perfect example of that. Kushang, in the meantime, let's see where he is. Wizard and Kushang. Wizard has been left in the dust by Kushang, very, very far behind. So virtually Kushang, unless he commits a very, very huge error, can secure his position at position number 3, unless he's wants to give a tough competition to Watson, which he looks like might be following a little bit behind. Watson already at gate number 56, but Watson again committing those errors which he would have liked to bypass completely. And Kushang, let's see, look at that, very, very close. And you can see the gates between 32 and 59 are quick, because that tunnel is a bunch of gates out there. So whenever the pilots cross that green tunnel, immediately the increment is by a 20 odd gate difference or so. So you really have to stay focused on where the pilots are, and that green tunnel can make a lot of difference. If the pilot gets stuck in that green tunnel, he can be wasting a lot of gates. Look at that. You can see virtually 30 gates were covered by Wizard very quickly when he passed through the tunnel. So that's kind of an eye opener, both for myself and the spectators. And you can get a good stance and where the pilots are going through right now. Wizard will be completing, but we can score it up for the pilots. Shady again sitting up there, 7, 6, 5, and 4 for Wizard, who will be completing the track very soon, which doesn't make any difference at this point in time. So quite a bit of a spread here. The pilots will be looking to come forward as the stakes continue higher and higher. Round number 5 and only 2 more rounds after this. So pilots, let's get going at the count of less than 5. We are about 20 minutes into this live broadcast, and we also have made the game a lot faster. You can see that because it just keeps the pace going and keeps it entertaining, and everybody is on the edge of their seats. So we just want to maintain that pace and keep it simple, keep it going. Shady right now is 4 gates ahead of Watson, and you can see he's just rolling up his squad right now, diving up through that rock dive gate, surrounded right now by what was the Jacob's ladder, and now going through another climber of a gate sequence into the tunnel very quickly and into the dive gate. Let's see where Watson is. Watson also rolling along the same gates that we saw with Shady, and going through the tunnel one more time. Kushang, on the other hand, will have to make up quick ground, but the competition between him and Wizard is quite tough. So you can see Wizard and Kushang are very, very close to each other. We can focus on both of these pilots. Look at that. But Wizard really trying to put Kushang under a bit of pressure out there. So the pressure really seeming to catch up with Kushang, and Kushang recharging his quad quickly because he made a few errors out there, and that has made him really enabled him to back up his lead to position number 3 right now. Wizard falling back into what he did not anticipate right now. Kushang really recharging that one. So Wizard will have to come up with a different game plan if he has to conquer Kushang in probably this or the next round. Still a whole lap to go. Shady sitting once again quite comfortably, calling out to Vatsan to complete his part of the sequence, and Vatsan will be doing just that very, very soon. Just a few gates waiting for Vatsan on his way to the victory lap. Kushang, on the other hand, will be completing straight up 52. So it really goes from 13, gate number 13 to gate number 52 as the pilots do that green tunnel. And that is really like a pocket system. You can pocket a lot of gates just by passing through that tunnel. So once again, Wizard doing the same thing, landing up at gate number 52. And Kushang right now seems to be slowing his pace. Maybe did he make a little bit of a mistake out there? Not sure, but he manages to clinch his third spot, and scoring remains unchanged right now. It is exactly the same sequence. So the last round until we take a 2-minute break for the final round. Right now, all the pilots still have a chance. So round number 6, pilots, let's get going at the count of less than 5. It's a good thing that the pilots have stayed connected throughout this gaming sequence, and we have had to we have been able to get through the rounds very, very quickly. And look at that wonderful competition right now going through the FPV view right now with Kushang. We can see both of these pilots, Shady and Kushang, battling it out. Vatsan seems to have disappeared in the dust somewhere, and maybe that would have costed his race. Not sure, but Vatsan coming back. He's starting from lap number 1, gate number 5, quite behind any one of these pilots. Vatsan will have to really pick it up. But Kushang, and we might just see a change of order in this particular round, which might be a multiplier of 6, and Kushang can take full advantage of the 6 multiplier. So will Wizard, and Vatsan will have to really make it up for the loss of the time in the initial start of his round. So that's what he's doing right now. Vatsan capitalizing on Wizard's hesitancy out there. Around position number 3 coming into with Vatsan, and Kushang and Vatsan now getting close as well, as Vatsan makes a few errors once again. Kushang may have just got the upper hand here, but as soon as Vatsan goes through that green tunnel, we'll be able to see what the gate difference actually is, because that'll land up straight into position number 3. 52 gates for Vatsan. Look at that. And Kushang will have to keep it consistent right now. Shady is definitely picking up spot number 1 once again. He can go as slow as a turtle, not a problem for Shady, just has to keep moving. Kushang, on the other hand, has shown great guts, and he has taken full advantage of Vatsan's lack of pace at the beginning of this round. And Kushang has really maintained his position at position number 2. That's really, really good form and sequence of gates that Kushang has performed without any, a lot of errors out there. Doing his dive gate properly. You can see there, Vatsan still about 10 gates behind Kushang out there. Kushang will be coming into the start and finish gate out there. Well done, Kushang. That's a little bit of an upset out there for Vatsan, who was still now keeping it at position number 2, but now he has still not completed at position number 3. Wizard is just following behind Vatsan at this point in time, and an order of change over here. So 7 points for Shady. Vatsan gets 5 points. Kushang gets 6 points over here, multiplied by 6. So that was a huge round for Kushang to come back close to Vatsan. Wizard will be at position number 4 with 4 points. So pilots, let's just get a 2-minute breather out here. Get your sequences ready, your pinches and thumps, clear out any of the pressure that you may have, because round number 7 will be beginning in about a minute and a half. Let's see where some of the other spectators are out here. Welcome to all our spectators joining in. Thank you so much for the comments, and keep on following the SAH. Do also see some of the previous videos and the previous races. If you haven't been able to see them live, all of them are on our YouTube channel, stored safely. And Also, do join in to droneracingindia.com, sign up as a pilot. It's a free membership out there and lots of support, and nearly 3,100 pilots on the platform now. Also download the Idrl app. This is the SAH playoffs coming to you in the next 30 seconds is round number 7. Pilots, let's get going because it's about 20 seconds remaining, and let's get on now. About 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 1, and let's go. Pilots, at the count of less than 5, your round number 7 incoming right now. This is the final round, and this is a great 10-point multiplier. Whatever points are scored in this particular round are going to be multiplied by a factor of 10. So every pilot will be vying for that position number 1, definitely for the big 70 points that are on hand to grab. Watson definitely picking up. You can see Watson is really giving a chase to Shady at this point in time. Shady might have just fallen behind, and Kushang also in the draw over here with Wizard. But Watson keeping it brilliant out here in the final round. He's shining like a pure diamond out of nowhere. Look at that. Shady just behind. He's maintaining Shady at the tail of his at the tail end, and Shady will have to make a quick ground out here if Watson has to drop out to position number 2. But Watson keeping it again. Watson blowing it up under the pressure. He was stuck in that tunnel gate. That might have costed him a bit of a time out there. But Shady dropping by at that podium gates might have given a chance to Watson to come back for position number 1. Both of these pilots in lap number 2. Very, very close competition coming along in the last and final lap between Watson and Shady. This is getting quite interesting at this point in time. Shady, he is drilling up 5 gates away off of Watson. And Watson coming back again into with Shady. He's putting the pressure, keeping it consistent for Shady. And Watson again, 52 and 56 gates. Hardly any difference between these two pilots. Let's see where Watson is. And Shady will be able to catch Shady just in front of Watson at this point in time. Well, Watson, can he make it until the very end? And Watson made his best attempt out there. Eventually, Shady clinging that spot number 1. Wow, what a race that was. The last round out there. Brilliant between Watson and Shady out there. Wonderful competition that we saw. And finally, we'll also see the competition between Kushang and Wizard. Wizard has been doing really well out here. Given the performance of his system, he has performed really well, and he should be really proud of himself. Finally, let's see as we approach with Kushang some of the last last gates in this final lap. Wizard will also be completing very, very soon with Kushang. Virtually now, his position very sacredly cemented in position number 3. Just has to get through the finish gate. And well done, Kushang. The last round remains exactly the same for the order of the game that we saw from rounds 1 to 6, except round number 6, where there was a little bit of an upset. But 7654 has been the story so far, and congratulations to Shady 217, who will be picking up at the first place for the Idrl points. Watson 180, position number 2. Kushang getting into the third space with Watson just ahead of him, and Wizard about 24 points ahead of a Century. So that was also very, very commendable. Shady really rocking it up beyond 200 points, just like we saw Ion FPV do it last time around. So now we have got the pilots, all these four pilots. You are qualifying. Nevertheless, the positions with the pilots and the points for the IDRL will be counted. But all these four pilots will be seen in the Eastern Conference finals. But the next one that's coming up is going to be Western Conference finals with the four pilots that emerged successful from the semi-final draw that we had last Saturday. So keep it out for the next Saturday. We'll be waiting to receive you again, spectators. In the meantime, that's all we have from our studios in Mumbai. And fantastic race we had so far. Tomorrow is Raksha Bandhan. To all of you, have a wonderful day with your brothers and sisters. We wish you well and sleep well. Good night and alvida. Thank you so much for staying with